Players or coaches, who's at fault for this collapse?
I loved everything A.J. Brown said because that's what you're supposed to say. You are out there playing. You're out there blocking. You're out there catching. You're out there grinding with your teammates. All that is cool. But at the end of the day, those plays that you showed, the defense gets paid too. We talk about that 24/7. They checks come on Tuesday too. That's a great play by an all-pro player in Buda Baker. Like, that is a great play. I would be sitting up here with 5 championships if every play blocked right and everything. Like, we would, you know what I mean? And no coaches would ever be fired. But you get fired because of what the other team does on the other side of the ball and how their playmakers make plays. Yeah, if you block down, you block down. But them dudes knew that play was coming. You can't tell me Buda Baker did not know that play was coming. Then on the second play, on the screenplay, it don't work if Devontae Smith don't make a Superman play against the San Francisco 49ers, breaking tackles.
Yeah.
And, okay, you think they don't know them certain plays that you guys run on 3rd and long? Is that what you're telling me, offensive coordinator? That they don't think this screen is coming in 3rd and long. And the Cardinals knew it was coming because it's the same exact play, Devontae Smith in the same exact area, and they just tackled. So for me, yes, as a player, it's so many plays to where you can make the coach look good by blocking it a certain way, by making a Superman play. But if we really watch the Philadelphia Eagles in whole, it is plain Jane on the offensive side of the ball, and they forcing their receivers and playmakers to make plays like Devontae Smith made on that 3rd and 20 against the Niners. They forcing A.J. Brown to moss people and break 3 or 4 tackles every time he catches a pass, instead of just making it extremely easy on Jalen Hurts to where this ball is coming out here and getting it in A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith's hand. There's none of that. And then they ran back-to-back QB draws. 1st and 20, 2nd and 16. So you mean to tell me as an offensive coordinator, you look 1st and 20, QB draw, cool, let's try to get something, right, Shady? Let's try to go in there and get a couple yards. And then the next play, 2nd and 16, you like, yeah, again. Like, you know, so for me, yes, I understand players make plays, but at the end of the day, the coaches put the players in the best situations to succeed and make plays. And that is what we are not seeing consistently with the Philadelphia Eagles offense. Still, I respect A.J. Brown take, but they got to do better and be more creative on the offensive side of the ball.
Here's what I struggle with. Everybody at the desk, this is what I struggle with. The Eagles, allegedly, from what I have been told, have a better roster than most everybody in football, and they definitely have a better roster than the Arizona Cardinals. So at the point in which the game ends by a Hall of Fame right tackle, who's the highest paid right tackle in football, a all-pro quarterback, hard to do, who's the 2nd or 3rd highest paid quarterback in football, and the 5th highest paid tight end in football, can you be mad if you keep it in the hands and the responsibilities of a Hall of Fame tackle, an all-pro quarterback, and the 5th highest paid tight end? Because, Shady, from my understanding of the game of football, it doesn't matter what you call if the players don't execute. So who do you blame, players or coach?
It's both. It's both. I think there's sometimes where coaches may call a bad call, right? You got all-star players, which we have Philadelphia, that can make it happen. Oh, woo, he got me out of that jam. That happens all the time, right? And there's plays, like we see Andy Reid against the Eagles in the Super Bowl where, hey, we got the great Patrick Mahomes, we need him to be great. Wide open guys, uncontested touchdowns. That's coaching, right? You scout, you do your homework. The thing, but that's what the Cardinals did. But I'm going to take you back to the film you were showing.
Talk to me.
When do offensive coordinators call screens? You play defense, right? You're a defensive girl, right? When do they do that?
3rd and long.
3rd and long.
3rd and long. If you blitzing a lot or you're 3rd and long, you know that, right? So, and I get what AJ's trying to do, right? And I was always one of them players, right? It's us.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't playing. They got stomachs. They ain't in shape. We out here playing. But when you really watch the game and you watch the tape, I think Jalen Hurts is a really good quarterback. Right? Talk about all the things, all pro and all that, and we see his growth. He went from this all the way up here, right? But still, even the great quarterbacks, the good ones, still got help. We got some bad players on our team. Bad as in really, really good. We need the offense coordinator to put us in position to win. So how do we even get to 3rd and 19? How do we get to 2nd? So as much as you want to blame the players, it's all of us together. Right? And I do think that we got to do a better job of putting Jalen Hurts and the offense in better schemes, better situations. But some of these calls that we talking about, like even that draw, like you said if it was blocked perfectly, it's NFL. Nothing's really blocked perfectly. And if you look at the safety, he's all the way in the box. So now you want the tight end to come down and smash this down, pause. And that's It's football. This is not, I used to always tell my coaches, right? This is when I became who I was. You talk to me about I should do this, I should do that, or he should have blocked him, he should have blocked him. This ain't no tape. When the game's on, it's bullets going. It's a lot of thinking, it's fast twitch, muscles reacting. Can't sit here and hit the button. So I get what AJ's doing, but just we got to do a better job of competing as a group, as a players, and as coaches. Do you see the way that, and I'm not putting Jalen Hurts in the category of a guy like Brock Purdy. Matter of fact, I want to use Brock Purdy. In my notes, I got Dak Prescott. Before this year, we all had our own opinion about Dak. I always said that he was above average quarterback. We can all agree with that. This year, he's playing elite. But if you really watch the way they play with him, they get everybody involved. CeeDee Lamb is a top 5, top 3 receiver, in my opinion. Right? But even him that good, they have him everywhere. He in the backfield, he in the slot, he outside, he motioning, he's moving around. I don't never see A.J. Brown move around, and we know how good he is. I don't never see Devontae Smith move around. You know how good he is. That part is coaching, right? And then there's the other part of the players where you got to execute that we're not doing. We're not connecting easy passes we got to catch, easy passes we got to throw. We're not doing that. So when you talk about this whole thing, and I'm really passionate about it because you know it's my boys. I even wore a little green today for this. I know this top was up. We got to do a better job collectively doing it together. And then on defense. Now listen. Now I gave you all the offensive rap. Let me get to my defense. Because I got a lot of dudes on defense. That's my boys, like my homies. Now, I get what AJ's saying from the offensive standpoint, new coordinator, I get it.
I didn't show defense for a reason.
Hold on, defense. What are you saying about that?
Show defense
and then the pick 6 that we did get, I mean, Kyler Murray he just gave it to us. I'll take that. We couldn't stop them at all. That's the Cardinals.
Right. Up and down the field on you.
If I had a trivia question right now for everybody on the table, y'all probably do because I do your homework. Name me the whole offensive skill position. Like, I'm a struggle. And I love offense. Come on, we chirping. I don't want to hear all that about it's the players. It's the players and the coaches. And we got to get together. If we don't get it together, we will be one and done.
Oof. Joy, players, coaches for the Eagles collapse. Lost 4 out of their last 5 games. Where are you putting the majority of the blame?
I think you have to put it on both. I mean, I'm going to listen to A.J. Brown when he speaks because he's in that locker room. He's a leader. He knows what success is. So if he's saying it's on them, then there are things that we maybe aren't seeing or he's experiencing that he sees that tell him that a lot of it is on the players. But we're not in the locker room. And we can see a lot of other teams around the league, like you said, with far less talent, who aren't playing the way the Eagles are playing right now. And that's not because the Eagles aren't talented, and it's not just because everyone's not playing at the highest level. You got too many coaches that are putting inferior talent to what the Eagles have, I'll say that, in positions to make runs in the postseason, teams that we are afraid of. You got the Steelers, you got the Browns, you got the Bengals. Like, these are teams that we didn't think were going to be anywhere near the playoffs. And now we're going to talk about how scary they are in the postseason. And they're without their starting franchise quarterback. They don't have their all-pro quarterback in there that was just in a Super Bowl. They don't have all these weapons. They don't have all this pedigree that we talk about all the time. So I do think that while some of the players are not playing up to their potential and maybe some people are banged up or whatever's going on, that's fine. You can't put it all on the coaches because the players go out there and play. But why are you not putting your players in the best position to win? And when I look around the NFL this year and see all these teams, the Colts, the Rams, the Packers, you've got coaches coaching at a really, really high level, putting people in position to play at their highest level and making adjustments. Look at the Bills this year. The Bills, I think, are the best example because we think the Bills are really talented. They've dealt with injuries. They're a team that's seen highs. They struggled all season long, made some adjustments, and now they're rolling. Now they're a very scary, serious team that could still win the division. They're playing some of their best football right now. So it's not impossible to shift mid-season. It's not impossible to make adjustments. It doesn't have to even be to your roster. It can be your mentality and adjustments within the building. Okay, we're doing this. It's not working. We got to change. Don't double down. Don't double down on being wrong.
Really quick, Acho, what is the Philadelphia Eagles' identity on the offensive side of the football? Can you answer that for me?
I would say it's all about the QB. If I had to say, what's their identity? I would say they live and die by Hurts.
So that's coaching number 1. What is our identity? We are in week 17, and we don't know who we are on the offensive side of the football. That ain't got nothing to do with players. I remember playing with Coach Mike. We didn't have a running game, but we looking in the wide receiver room, and there's 5 dogs in there at receiver. And Mike, he wants to run the football, but he walked into our room, he said, our running game shaky, we going 5 wide. all year unless one of these running backs come out of the blue. Because I know you can win, and I ain't worried about none of this other stuff. What is your idea? We don't know what the Philadelphia. You ran two draws because you don't know what your identity is. You have a really good back in DeAndre Swift back there. If you go spread it out, let's spread it out. Put Julio out there more with them three. Let's have an identity of what we going to. They don't.
And I don't think our identity is Jalen Hurts.
Talk to me.
If you ever see when we get in trouble, what do we do?
Run.
I would say QB draw.
Run the ball.
I would say not draw. That's too late.
If you look at all the games where he had to come back from behind. Now, Jalen Hurts at the end, he has some clutch genes in him, and he wins the game, right? The Bills game, all different games. But if you just look at, if we ever get in trouble, what do we do? Last year, if we ever got in trouble, what did we do? We run that rock.
Sure.
Think about it. We run that rock. Miles Sanders last year, this year, the Chiefs game, right? We need to win that game on the road. Shaky first half. The second half, what we do? We went to Swift.
Yeah.
The sweet drink, you know what I'm saying? They went out the gate, and then we kept rolling. We don't have an identity. That's a good. When you ask that question, I'm thinking, what is our identity? Because usually we run it with Hurts.
Last year, that's what it was. Even if it was with Hurts or Sanders, it was physicality, run the ball.
And last year, the defense was playing at such a high level.
No,
they were setting the tone for everything else as well. And when things did get shaky, you knew you could rely on them. But you have to know your personnel. Like you talked about this before the season. You didn't have a lot of faith in what this defense was going to look like because of the pieces that were lost, correct? We've seen throughout the year that was correct. This isn't the same defense. It doesn't look the same different. They were setting records for sacks. They're not getting to the quarterback anymore. It's a different tone within the building, within the identity of your team as a whole.
I just think we have, and I am most guilty of this. I think, and I will ask if you are as well, I think we got revisionist history. Shady, you said, what is the Eagles' identity? What's the Eagles' identity? To me, when the Eagles get in a bind, they always run QB keep. Buffalo Bills, how did that game end? Overtime. Got to have it played. Jalen Hurts line of scrimmage, check. QB keep. Kansas City Chiefs, it's 21-17. Chiefs punt the ball. There's 5.5 minutes left in the game. It's 1st and 10. Most important play of the game. Eagles need a 5 or 4 minute drive. That's what you call it in football. Eagles need a 4-minute drive to ice out the game. 1st and 10. Very first play, QB keep. Arizona Cardinals got to have it moment. They just ran an onside kick. 1st and 10 penalty. It's 1st and 20. What do they go to? QB keep. It didn't work.
Yeah.
It didn't work, and now all of a sudden, I'm coming on television, you're probably on social media, we're sitting at the desk. I can't believe they called this. I can't believe they're doing this. I can't believe this. But against the Bills, overtime, gotta have it. It worked.
But he
against
that.
Yeah, they did. But against the Chiefs, gotta have it. No check. Called. It worked.
Okay.
So the only thing I am saying is the Eagles, they lived by it, they died by it. Against the Bills, they lived. Against the Chiefs, they lived. Against the Cardinals, they died. But I just don't like playing both sides.
I get that, but is that our identity, or that's just a play that you run when you need it? I think identity is two different things than a play we need. Every coordinator, I don't care who it is, defense or offense, every player it is. When it's a clutch moment, you're going to do what you know best,
yes,
right? The best way you probably tackle. You got to get this dude down, you're going to do that, right? Since little league so it's everybody, even with the coaches. If I'm a coach that, look, man, we got to stop him, was forfeiting, whatever. I'm blitzing, I'm a blitzer, I'm a blitz. If I'm going to play coverage, I'm going to play coverage. Let's not confuse it a little bit.
Fair.
When we talk about identity, it's okay, I get a better one for you. The Niners, what are their identity? It's easy. we talk offense, defense, but you know what it is. You know what it is. With us, and I'm an Eagle nut. I don't even know what our identity is.
Because they ain't got
defense,
one.
we don't have one. So it's hard to pick out whose issue is it or whose fault it is. We don't even know who we are.
Yeah, what you default to me, is not what your identity is. Your identity is what you know this matchup is going to be.
Right.
Well, we know what the Baltimore Ravens' identity
We know what the identity is.
What is it? Define identities for me and for the viewer at home. What's the Ravens? What's the Niners? I just want to hear y'all.
They play with great defense. The Ravens, to me, play with great defense.
Always.
They have a superstar quarterback who can win with his legs or can throw it. And now they have skill positions that he can rely on.
And they're going to run that ball.
They're going to run the ball and play tough on both sides of the ball.
Now, is your identity what you're good at or what you try to do most?
Who you are.
Who you are.
So my thing is, the Eagles are going to try to QB run, and they're going to try to take shots to AJ and Devontae. That's who they're going to Now, does it work great all the time? I don't know. But the Ravens are going to run the ball. Jalen Hurts is going to run the ball. Jalen Hurts is the only quarterback. Jalen Hurts, Randall Cunningham, Lamar Jackson, 3 quarterbacks that have had 3 consecutive 600-plus yard seasons. So if you're saying what's the Eagles' identity, it's QB run, because only 3 quarterbacks in the history of football have done it. Jalen Hurts is one. And you're taking shots. A.J., Devontae. You know A.J. for catch a couple Pro Bowls.
See, that's not identity to me, because where has that got us? Struggling, barely winning? That ain't our identity. Identity is what Joey talked about. Yeah, we got these go out to the Bay to play the Niners. What we gonna do? Because they got a great defense. They tough. They bullies. What we going to do? We don't care because we are who we are. What we do, we play bully ball. We run the ball. We let our quarterback take over the game, running or throwing. And then on defense, we play tough. We play physical. That's what they did. Yeah. That's what they did. That's what they are. So when you asking, like, I don't want to mix up, like, what we do good compared to who we are. Because there's sometimes where you might play a game and your style might not work.
Yep.
But you not backing up. This is who he is. This is when we practice, when we install plays, when we scout for players, when we draft players, when we train for what we want and who we are. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When I ask the Eagles, like, yo, who we gonna draft? Who we gonna pick? Who we want? What type of plays we want? Yeah. What type of... We don't know. Correct. That's what I'm saying. Some games, Swift Kills will have 175 yards rushing with 20-some carries. In some games, he has 5, 6, 7. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We can't be identity. Yeah. No matter what's going on with Christian McCaffrey, no matter how great Brock Purdy's playing, Christian gonna touch that ball. Debo gonna get them special athletic plays. Ayuk, Brandon Ayuk, he's gonna get his routes. You get what I'm saying? Like, we don't have, even the Cowboys, and I hate to say this, they know who they are. Mm-hmm. CeeDee Lamb gonna touch that rock. Yeah. No matter how good Tony Pollard's playing, he gonna touch that ball. We're gonna spread out for Dak. We're gonna make it easy for Dak Prescott, right? We're gonna look for matchups with the tight end, with CeeDee Lamb in the slot. So when I'm saying, like, what it means to be, I have an identity. That's what it is. When you look at the Eagles, it's like, yo, we don't know. We don't know. We'll do some screens, with some draws. Maybe A.J. gonna beat this dude one-on-one. Okay, we got Smith on the back. We don't even know what we're doing. And Swift might have his game, he might not.
And that's why I asked that question, because for me, identity is what you are off the bus. Ooh. When the Niners get off the bus, you know you better pack your lunch pail. It's finna be physical. We finna run this football downhill. When the Ravens get off the bus, you know the defense is getting off the bus. They finna be violent. Lamar, Gus Edwards, we finna run this ball first. Play action, pass off it. When Mahomes get off the bus, you know Andy Reid is putting the ball in Mahomes' hands. Game on the line, whatever it may be, the ball is in Mahomes' hands. We're going to design up some of these pass plays, and we coming at you, right? We ain't handing it to Pacheco when the game on the line. Our identity is Patty.
Go to the Lions. They got the best identity.
You Lions? Know, the Lions. Well, the Lions got 2 of them because the Lions throwing and running.
But we going to start with this run.
We're going to start with the run. You're going to start with Gibbs. You're going to start with Montgomery. But even Josh, when you get off the bus, you cannot let Josh outside the pocket. You can't. They really don't want to run this football. Ball in Josh's hands. He getting it to Diggs. He getting it to Gabe Davis. When you talk about Philly getting off the bus, what you trying to stop? You don't know.
But would y'all not say? I don't know. Would y'all not say that you are trying to stop Hurts? Because that's what Bosa said. If the blueprint is this is what the Niners are focused on stopping, which was Jalen Hurts, B-gap, run game, Jalen Hurts, run game. To me, that is the identity.
But that's not an identity. That's just what they do.
Game plan.
And what Shady's talking about, what James is talking about, is the culture, right. is who you are, how you draft, what kind of players fit in this system. Are you Miami? Are you speed everywhere? Speed, right. Fast stars everywhere. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. They're not a physical smash you in the mouth team, right. But they're going to beat you over the top and run the ball not hard, straight down, fast. Oh. They're going to play McDaniel's offense. That's how they play. That's their identity. Yep. He wants players that fit into that system, that fit into that identity. Philadelphia doesn't have an identity, and mostly, in my opinion, is because the defense isn't the same as last year.
But I just don't think you can't be somebody you're not. Last year, they had a identity, if you will,
what was it?
Because they had players. They're going to get after the pass.
Well, hold on.
Oh, my God.
You talking offense?
Yeah.
What was your... No, I'm talking offense. What was their identity last year?
Oh, last year, I thought they were just going to RPO you to death.
And run that. Run that. Them 5 boys up front, be physical and violent.
There were certain games where we were running like 10 plays, all runs.
Correct. But here's the crazy thing, though. Here's my issue. Last year, the Eagles would run the same play over and over and over. They were just running the RPO.
That's not our identity.
That's fair.
That's not identity.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.